Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Hopkinton High School turf fields for the first varsity home game of the season as the 0-2 Hopkinton Hillers take on the 1-1 Medfield Warriors, and we are just about ready for kickoff. The Hillers will be kicking off right to left across your screen in their home green jerseys with the white helmet and the white numbering. Medfield in their away white jerseys with the light blue numbering and the light blue helmet, and we are set for football on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. John Ritz and Eve Weatherhead, part of our crew today. Tom Nappy on the call, happy to be with you on a very pleasant day. And we're going to have a return up the far side, and the return will be to about the 30-yard line. So we'll get a look at the Medfield Warriors offense to start things off. And the temperature today, about 40, sunny day, not too much wind, and you certainly can't ask for any better weather than we have here today. Feels like a nice fall, October type of day. As the Medfield Warriors are going to line it up with quarterback under center. At quarterback, that is the captain, Ryan Murray, who's in his senior year. And now he's going to line it up out of the gun. Two receivers to either side. Takes the snap, looks to his left, throws to his left, has his target, James Wilder. And Wilder is going to haul it in and take it up for about 5 yards. And that'll bring up 2nd and 5. Murray looking towards the Medfield sideline for the play call. And they are set to go out of the gun. In the backfield, that's TJ Casey. Two receivers lined up to the left. Lone flanker to the right. He'll throw it to the right. He has a target, and it's James Wilder. There he goes. He is off. 20-10 touchdown Medfield. A 65-yard touchdown reception. And just like that, it's 6-0 Medfield. Not the way the Hillers wanted to start the day, but the Warriors will certainly take it. Ryan Murray connecting with James Wilder. Now they're going to attempt the extra point. Nicholas Crofts out there to try to make it 7. And it is end over end and right through the uprights, and just like that, it's Medfield 7, Hillers 0. We'll get a look at the Hopkinton offense coming up next here on HCAM. Well, the Hillers defense is certainly going to have to step it up throughout the rest of this game. Medfield does have a number of targets that they can go to. And they certainly have a good quarterback in Murray. Warriors set to kick off left to right across your screen. That drive by Medfield, that only ate up about 37 seconds. And the kickoff is going to sail to the near side 20-yard line. Here comes the return by Brian Keefe. Across the 40, pushing his way to the 45. A great return by Brian Keefe. And the Hillers offense will have some good field position to start their first drive of the game. So here comes the Hillers offense looking to retaliate from a very successful two-play drive for Medfield to start off this game. And they're going to line it up out of the gun. That's Cole Salyards at quarterback. He'll line up with a back to his right. Two receivers either side. Takes the snap, rolls to his right. Under pressure, he's going to take it himself across the 45 towards midfield. Brought out of bounds around the 48-yard line. And that ends up being about a 2-yard pickup for Salyards. And they'll line it right back up. I think we're going to see a hurry-up type of offense here by the Hillers. Salyards with a back to his left is going to take it himself once again and keep it. Across midfield he goes, and he's brought down at around the Medfield 49. And that time he was able to pick up a couple yards. They'll mark him down right at midfield. And the Hillers right back to the line they go. Salyards out of the gun. In the backfield, that's Cam Mulvaney. He'll line up now to Salyards' right. Two receivers in tight to either side. Takes a snap, throws to the left, has a target. It's hauled in. Close to the first down marker, yet a little short. On the reception, that was Elias Pereira. And that was about a 4-yard pickup on the reception. So it is 4th and just over a yard to go for the Hillers. And they're going to go for it. Salyards once again out of the gun with a back to his right. Some motion along the left side. And now motion left to right. And he will hand it off to the up back. And that should be enough for the first down as Cam Mulvaney charges forward and picks up a couple. So the Hillers move the chains. Hurry up offense going to continue here. Salyards with a back to his right. Two receivers either side. Takes the snap, throws to his right, incomplete. A little bit low in front of Elias Pereira. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. From the Medfield 45-yard line. Salyard's going to line it up back to his right. Two receivers either side. He'll hand it off. Run up the middle. Not much there. Couple of yards for Cam Mulvaney. 2nd and 8. Back to the line they go. He'll take the snap out of the gun. Rolls to his right. Throws to his right, hauled in along the far side. That was Brian Keefe hauling it in, and it looks like he got to about the 35. We'll see where they mark him. They're going to put him at the 34. That'll bring up 4th down and about 2 to go. So it was a 6-yard reception to Brian Keefe. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun once again, back to his right, motion from right to left. And now he's back. Mulvaney going to move over to his left. He'll take it himself. Here he goes, a designed keeper. He has the first down and more. Up the near side, push out of bounds at around the 20-yard line. A good pickup there by Cole Salyards. And that'll move the Hillers all the way up to the 20-yard line, about a 15-yard pickup there by Salyards. And some great blocking along the left side on that design keeper. 7:39 and counting left to go in the first quarter. The Hillers on the move. Salyards out of the gun, back to his left. That is Joe Carazza. He'll hand it off to Carazza. Up the middle goes Carazza, fighting his way forward. And it was a nice job staying on his feet. It looked like he had nothing, but he was at least able to pick up a yard or two. Some good fight there by Carazza. We got to look at Joe Carazza in the JV game this past week. And he had a touchdown in that game as well in the Hillers' victory over Ashland. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun once again, back to his right, two receivers either side, takes the snap, rolls to his right, throws upfield, has a target, it is hauled in, and it's going to be a nice gain here for the Hillers. That should be a first down. Brian Keefe once again coming through, putting the Hillers deep in the red zone. And it looks like they'll be at about the 7 or 8 yard line. It's certainly a tough vantage point here to see the exact yard line. So we'll be guesstimating, but in general, we'll be in the right area code. It's going to be a handoff up the middle and into the end zone for a Hillers touchdown. Cam Mulvaney. The Hillers respond big. And we may be on the verge of a shootout type of game here. A 7-6 game. The Hillers going to try to tie it up. Avery Ravitch, the kicker, out there for the extra point. So the Hillers have a nice 70-yard touchdown drive. And the extra point is good. We're knotted up at 7 apiece. Cam Mulvaney putting the icing on the cake with an 8-yard touchdown run. And the extra point good to tie this game up at 7 apiece. And that drive ate up about 4 minutes of clock for the Hillers. And we are knotted up at 7 apiece. Hopkinton set to kick it away. Right to left across your screen. We'd like to welcome all the viewers who are watching in both Medfield and Hopkinton and throughout the local communities. Thank you for tuning in, and looks like we're going to have a good Saturday afternoon football game here today. All TVL teams are in action today. All Saturday games. Avery Ravitch set to kick it away. And that drive for the Hillers, that was 55 yards. They started at the 45 and went upfield with some nice running and a couple of nice passes. And we're going to have a flag on the return here. On the return from Medfield, that was Wilston Destin, and we had a flag. It may have been an illegal block against Medfield. Let's see what they do here, because it didn't look like Destin was going to get too far. We have a block in the back call. It is against Medfield. So this is going to push them back substantially. So they were at about the 15-yard line. Now they're all the way back to about the 5. 10-yard penalty there. Well, here we go. They're going to put Murray out of the pistol, or right under center this time. He's going to hand it off. It's a run to the left, and not much room, and brought down for a loss as Wilder Good defensive stop there by the Hillers. In on the tackle was the captain, Jacob Sokol. And that's a loss of a couple there. That brings up 2nd and 12 from the 3-yard line. And they do have the scoreboard working today. We're certainly relieved to see that. And here we go, as it'll be another run here up the left side. And a pretty good run there by Nicholas Crofts. Still well short of the first down, however. It looks like he got back to about the initial line of scrimmage, or just a little past it. Ball is on about the 15-yard line. So now under center is Murray, and he is going to pitch it back. And another run up the left side, testing this Hillers defense, but not much room there. Good effort up front by the Hillers as they bring down Wilder, and with the final hit to knock him down, that was Elias Pereira. And that'll bring up 4th down and about 9 to go. No gain on the play. So now Medfield will have to punt it away. On the punt, I believe that's TJ Casey out there for the Warriors. And it is indeed Casey. Snap and the kick. It's a wobbly punt, but it will take a slight Medfield roll. At around the 35-yard line, the Hillers going to have very good field position here. They're going to start all the way at the Medfield 33. So 4:12 left to go in the first quarter. Hillers at the Medfield 31. Working right to left across your screen. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun, back to his right. 2 receivers either side. Takes the snap, rolls to his right, looks upfield, throws upfield, and it's caught by Keefe along the far side, and a nice gain there. That's going to be a first down for the Hillers. Keefe having quite a game already, 3 big receptions. Looks like the ball is all the way at the 10-yard line, so that was a 21-yard gain there by the Hillers. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun, back to his right. 2 receivers either side. Calls it out. Medfield looking like they're going to blitz here. Salyards takes the snap. He'll stand in the pocket, throws up the middle, incomplete. He was looking for Elias Pereira. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the 11. Back to the line they go. Salyards back to his right. 2 receivers either side. Takes the snap, hands it off, run up the middle, big run up the middle, and a touchdown! Cam Mulvaney, an 11-yard Hillers touchdown! His 2nd touchdown of the game, and it's a 13-7 Hillers lead. And now for the extra point attempt, they bring out Avery Ravitch. Snap, kick, end over end, and right through the uprights it goes. Hillers 14, Medfield 7. The Hillers offense having all kinds of success early on in this game. And that drive, that was a 31-yard touchdown drive. It was only a 4-play drive, capped off by an 11-yard Cam Mulvaney touchdown. Hillers will kick off right to left across your screen. Out there to kick it away, Avery Ravitch. Ravitch set to boot it away, and a beauty of a kickoff, end over end, all the way back to about the 5. And the return up the far side will be a pretty good one to about the 20. .345 left to go in this first quarter. A 14-7 lead for the Hillers. And Medfield going to try to respond here. Their last drive, they were forced to punt it away. To the line they go. Murray going to line it up out of the gun, back to his right. 2 receivers either side. Takes the snap and will hand it off, run up the middle. And not a whole lot of room there, a few yards, however. And a good stop by Jake Sokol. About a 3 or 4 yard pickup. And they marked him for 2. 2nd and 8 from the 22-yard line. Out of the gun is Murray, back to his right. 2 receivers either side. Takes the snap, looks to his left, and he was looking to throw, and now he's going to take it himself. Finds a little room up the far side. Not enough for the first down, but he is close. But a 5 or 6 yard pickup. We'll see where they mark him. And it looks like they will mark him right around the 29. About a 7 yard pickup. 3rd and 1 to go. Murray going to line it up out of the gun, back to his left. 2 receivers to either side. Takes the snap, and he's going to take it himself. Up the left side he goes, and it looks like he might have just got enough. That will move the chains, make it a 1st and 10 from the 31. Murray looking to the Medfield sideline for the play call. 1:57 and counting left to go in the first quarter. And it's been a first quarter just filled with a whole lot of excitement, especially for the Hillers. Murray with an empty back set, out of the gun, takes the snap, looks to his left, under pressure, and he's brought down! A big loss there. Aiden Morin gets in to take Murray to the ground. Daniel Greenleaf also on the scene. And that was a 5 yard loss on the sack. We'll bring up 2nd and, well, it's 16 to go. Murray out of the gun, back to his right. 2 receivers either side. Takes the snap. Looks to his left, airs it out, upfield, has a target, hauled in, and there he goes. He's able to escape the tackle, and he'll take it all the way to the house. That was the captain, Ben Leonard. And that is going to be a 79-yard connection between Murray and Leonard. And just like that, Medfield right back into the game. line it up to try to kick the extra point and tie this game back up. Nick Crofts in there to try to make it 14 apiece. Snap, kick, end over end, and it is through. We're knotted up at 14 apiece, 50 seconds left to go in the first quarter. What an exciting game we have for you today. We're just in the first quarter, folks. We've already had 2 touchdowns apiece. Tom Nappy happy to be on the call with you this Saturday afternoon. John Ritz, Eve Weatherhead, our crew today. And courtesy of John Ritz, you'll be able to see some great pictures of this game on the HCAM website. As the Warriors set to kick it away after tying this game back up. We're knotted up at 14 apiece. 50 seconds left to go in the first quarter. And along the sidelines, a few of the players, they have play cards, and they're just team logos. They have some college teams. I saw one with a Patriots logo on one of the cards, but they're using team logos for their play calls. A great return here by Elias Pereira all the way to the 38. So the Hillers will start off with some pretty good field position. Well, the Hillers offense has been unstoppable so far today. Let's see if they can continue their success here on this drive. Salyard's going to line it up. Out of the gun. Man in the backfield. 2 receivers spread out to his right. Takes the snap, hands it off, run up the middle. And fighting for extra yardage is Cam Mulvaney. And he works his way to about the 42. It looked like it was going to be maybe a 1 or 2 yard pickup, but Mulvaney fought for those extra yards, and he was able to get them. 2nd and 6. And that might have been the last play of the first quarter. We'll see if they snap another one before the quarter expires. 10 seconds left right now. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun once again. They will get the snap off. Pitch back to Mulvaney, and he is going to be brought down in the backfield. A nice stop at around the 39 on the tackle for Medfield. That was T.J. Casey. So about a 3-yard loss on the rush attempt by Mulvaney. And we are through the first quarter. After 1 quarter of play, it is Hopkinton 14, Medfield 14. Second quarter coming up next on HCAM. And welcome back to the Hopkinton High School turf fields. We have switched ends, and we are ready for the second quarter. The Hillers working left to right across your screen. A 14 of 14 game here in this TVL battle between the Hopkinton Hillers and the Medfield Warriors. Salyard's out of the gun, back to his left, two receivers either side, play action. He'll throw to his left, incomplete. Intended target, Nick Lassesi. Some good coverage upfield by James Wilder, along with Sam Patry. That's going to bring up 4th and 8 to go for the Hillers. So they'll punt it away here. This is the first time in this game the Hillers have had to punt. Out to punt it away is Salyards. He'll take the snap and gives it a boot. It's going to be a wobbly punt that'll land at about the 35 and then takes a Medfield bounce to the 40. So the Warriors will have pretty good field position to start this drive. So first drive of the game was a 65-yard touchdown reception as Murray connected with Wilder, which ate up about 1 minute and 27 seconds. And then the Hillers responded with a 55-yard touchdown drive, capped off by a Campbell Vaney 8-yard touchdown run. And then the Hillers went up 14-7 with an 11-yard Campbell Vaney touchdown run on their next drive after they forced a Medfield punt. But then Medfield would respond with a 79-yard touchdown reception from Ben Leonard. And here we are at 14 apiece. Medfield with the ball as they force the first Hillers 3-and-out of the game. A run up the middle, and that is going to be a pickup of about 3 yards there on the keeper by Murray. Looks like they gave him 2. That'll bring up 2nd and 8. Murray going to line it up out of the gun. Man in the backfield, and he is going to fake the handoff, play action, throws upfield, has a target, and it's hauled in. James Wilder with another huge reception all the way at the Hillers 20. And that was a 37-yard reception by Wilder. The Warriors in business, working in the red zone. Murray going to line it up out of the gun, back to his left. 3 receiver set, 2 lined up to his left. Motion along the right side. And it's going to be a sweep to the left and a pretty good run there by Wilder. But a nice stop by Aiden Morin. It was good for about 3 or 4. Second and 2 from the 43. So they actually gave him 8 yards there, a little more yards than I thought. Takes the snap, hands it off, and into the end zone he goes. TJ Casey, an 8-yard touchdown run. And Medfield back on top. They lead it 20-14. Well, a nice drive put together by this Warriors offense. And boy, have they responded. Now for the extra point attempt, it's going to be Nick Crofts. Snap, kick, end over end, and it is good. And the Medfield Warriors lead it 21-14 with 9:46 left to go. That drive took exactly 2 minutes by the Warriors. They're able to string together a 60-yard touchdown drive, capped off by a TJ Casey 8-yard touchdown run. We'll see if the Hillers offense can respond here. Their last drive, they were forced to punt it away for the first time of the game. Medfield will kick off right to left across your screen. And we have an update in the Hockomock action. Milford leading Franklin 27-2, or 27-20, excuse me, in the third quarter. So a nice battle going on between Milford and Franklin over at Franklin High School. And here is a return from the 10-yard line. It's going to be a good return. Along the near side goes Mulvaney, still on his feet towards midfield. And what a return it was. All the way to the Medfield 49, a 41-yard kickoff return by Cam Mulvaney. And the Hillers are going to start with some very, very nice field position. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun with a back to his left. Receivers in tight to either side. Motion along the left side, and he'll hand it off. Run up the middle, and here goes Mulvaney. 40, the 30, the 20, and he's knocked out of bounds along the near sideline by Wilder. A big run there. Cam Mulvaney breaking tackles and picking up yards as he gets all the way to the 17-yard line. That was a 32-yard run by Cam Mulvaney. Biggest run by either team this game. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney is to his left. Two receivers either side. Takes the snap, and here he goes up the middle on the keeper, picking up some good yards, breaks a couple tackles, and he gets to about the 10. A nice run there by Salyard's 7-yard pickup. Nine minutes and counting left to go in the first half. And the Hillers are driving deep in Medfield territory. Second and 3 from the 10. Salyard's out of the gun. Mulvaney in the backfield. It's a pitch back to Mulvaney. Cuts along the near side, trying to break through a tackle. And Medfield ready for him that time. Gets back to about the line of scrimmage. So no gain on the play. Back to the line they go. Salyard's out of the gun. Mulvaney in the backfield. Three receivers spread out to the left. Takes the snap, hands it off to Mulvaney along the near side, and he's pushed out of bounds after a pickup of a couple. That'll bring up fourth down for the Hillers. But a 2-yard run there by Mulvaney. And looks like the Hillers, they're going to go for it here. Salyard's out of the gun. Mulvaney to his left. And it looks like we might have a timeout here. And we do. Medfield wants to talk things over. And perhaps this will make the Hillers reconsider. They could go for the field goal here, but that would make it only a 4-point game. But seeing that they're so deep in the red zone, I expect them to take the risk here and go for it in this 4th and 2 situation. Ball is on the Medfield 9-yard line. 7:37 left to go. This drive has ate up a little over 2 minutes. We've had some very quick drives by both teams here, which for the most part have ended in a touchdown. We've seen 2 punts all game, 1 punt by each team. Besides that, all touchdowns. Here's your game summary in a nutshell. 4th and 2 from the 9. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney, the back to his left. 3 receivers spread out to his left. Takes the snap. He's going to roll to his left, looking to throw, looking towards the end zone, in trouble. Gets rid of it to the end zone, and jumping up, pulling it down. No, it's incomplete. He nearly had it. Brian Keefe had it in his hands, but as he landed, it fell out, and we'll have a turnover on downs. What an effort by Keefe to go up and try to reel that pass in. But it did not turn out like he wanted. So a turnover on downs here at 7:26 left to go in the first half. So here comes the Warriors to start this drive from their own 9-yard line. Murray lined up under center. Motion from left to right. It's going to be a run up the middle, and not much there at all. Maybe a yard. That was Max Gobbin on the carry. Actually, looks like they put him right back at the line of scrimmage, so no gain on the play. Murray lined up under center. A wishbone backfield. And he'll go to the left back. And nothing there. Great stop. On the stop for the Hillers, Aiden Morin, who's making some big defensive plays in this game. No gain on the play. 3rd and 10 from the 9. Medfield subbing a couple players. Murray going to line it up out of the gun. Back to his left. 2 receivers spread out to either side. Takes the snap. Looks upfield. Going to air it out. Up the middle. Incomplete. Fell just short of a wide open James Wilder. If that pass connected, Wilder was gone. That was going to be a 91-yard touchdown. The Hillers defense going to have to keep an eye on Wilder. He's the big target for Medfield. Already has a 65-yard touchdown reception in this game, and then you have a 79-yard touchdown reception by Ben Leonard. It's 4th and 10, so the Warriors will punt it away here. So unless this is a very good punt, the Hillers are going to have some good field position. And Max Gobbin had to get encouraged by his teammates to get in there. That was the hold-up, and the punt sails all the way back to the 45, and on the return is Keith. There he goes, breaking tackles. There is a flag, and he's going to work his way up to the 40, the 35, the 30, breaks free, the 20, the 10, into the end zone, but will it be a touchdown? The question is, what's the flag? And it looks like we're going to have a hold against the Hillers, so this one's coming back. So this one is coming back. It will be Hiller's ball. But they would certainly like to have not had that flag thrown. see where they mark him back. The Hillers will start off with pretty good field position. They'll start off at the Medfield 48. .536 left to go in the first half. Plenty of time to string together a drive. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney the back to his right. 3 receivers spread out to his left. Salyards takes the snap. He's going to keep it. Trying to work his way up the right side, and he's stopped for a small loss. On the tackle for Medfield, that was Dimitri Tassiopoulos. That was a loss of 3 yards there. Well, the Hillers tried some deception on that play. They lined up heavy on the left side and ran to the right, hoping that with the 3 receivers lined up along the left side of the offense, Medfield would be drawn to them, but it did not work out there. And it looks like we got Robert Lisher lined up as the quarterback for the Hillers, and we have a flag right off the snap. We're going to have a false start against Hopkinton. Robert Lisher, we got a good look at him in the couple of JV games we've done so far this season. It looks like he was just in there for that play. Salyard's back out there. So the Hillers move on back to the 45 in their own territory, and it's second down and about 17 to go. Salyard's out of the gun, back to his left, takes the snap, rolls to his left, throws, and it was deflected by a defender. I believe that was the captain, Jackson Foscaldo, who jumped up and got a piece of that pass. So that will make it a 3rd and 17. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney the back to his left. A 4-receiver set, 3 receivers to the left. Takes the snap, hands it off, run up the middle, and here goes Mulvaney across midfield, the 45 to the 40, and all the way to the Medfield 35. A big run there by Cam Mulvaney, a first down plus some. And they'll put him at the 34. A 21-yard pickup on the run by Mulvaney. Salyard's out of the gun, takes the snap, throws to his left, incomplete. And that was deflected by Matt McTavish. McTavish, a big guy for the Warriors, lined up at defensive end. And on the offensive side, you'll see him lined up as the tight end. Second and 10 from the Medfield 34-yard line. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. 3 receivers to the left. Mulvaney in the backfield. He'll take the handoff, and he will march up for maybe a yard. Not much there. It looks like they're going to put him right back at the line of scrimmage, so no gain on the play. Good stop there by the Warriors defense. 3rd and 10 from the 35. It was a big 21-yard run by Mulvaney that got the Hillers into Medfield territory. And now we'll see if they can extend this drive. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun, back to his left, 2 receivers spread out to either side. Takes the snap, hands it off. Mulvaney up the middle, finds a little room, spins around a defender, and he's brought down at around the 25. A little short of the first down, but a good gain nonetheless. A 9-yard pickup on the run by Mulvaney. That makes it a 4th and 1. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney to his right. A 4-receiver set, 3 lined up to the left side. Takes the snap, play action, rolls to his left, and he's brought down for a loss. Well, the Warriors were not fooled there. They were ready for it. And in on the stop, I believe that was Cole Cloney. So we'll have a turnover on downs. The Warriors will get the ball back with 2:14 left to go here in this second quarter. They'll start this drive from their own 29-yard line. It has been a great back and forth game on both sides of the ball. Early on, we saw a whole lot of offense. It was 14-14 after the first quarter. That trend has slowed down a bit, or I should say substantially, in the second quarter. The only thing we've seen in this quarter so far was the Medfield touchdown right towards the beginning as they capped off a drive that started in the first quarter. But the defense on both sides has picked it up. And the snap is dropped loose. Ball. Who recovered? And it's Hiller's ball! Coming up with the loose ball, that was Ethan Champlin. So Murray drops the snap, and the Hillers have it. And they have very good field position. Well, that is certainly not what you wanted if you were Medfield. You had some good momentum going there. You stopped a promising Hillers drive, but you give them the ball right back. Hopkinton will certainly take it. They're going to line it up at the 32-yard line. Out of the gun, and Lisher going to throw to his left, and it was incomplete. Dropped by his intended target, Cole Salyards. So they lined up Salyards as the quarterback there. A little wildcat action for the Hillers. 2nd and 10 from the 32. Salyards back in there, or is that Salyards? Actually, looks like it's Lisher still out there. He's going to line it up out of the gun, back to his right, 2 receivers either side, takes the snap, throws to his right, and it's intercepted! Picked off by TJ Casey, and he is going to take it all the way to the house, or will he? It looks like Mulvaney able to catch up to him, and he does get inside the 10. But wow, crazy momentum shifts. The Hillers recover a fumble. Medfield picks it off and nearly has a pick 6. TJ Casey with the interception and a huge return. And that looks like it is inside the 5. That was about a 60-yard or so return after the interception. Murray going to line it up out of the gun, back to his right. 2 receivers spread out to either side. Takes the snap, and looking to his right, throws to his right, and it's incomplete. Intended target was Cole Cloney. The ball is marked at the Hopkinton 2. So that'll make it second and goal from the 2. Well, that was a good job by Mulvaney, too. It really looked like T.J. Casey was gone, but Mulvaney somehow was able to catch up to him and at least make Medfield have to work for a score here. Out of the gun, it's going to be another run to the left side, and a swarm of Hillers defenders cave in on T.J. Casey, and it looks like they stopped him short. And did the ball come out? Hillers are saying they have it. I don't know if the officials agree. No sign yet. And it looks like Medfield's going to keep it here. So no gain on the run attempt by Casey. Ooh, we have a personal foul here, and it looks like against Medfield. There must have been some extracurricular activity after that play. But that is a costly penalty on the Warriors. So they will lose 15 yards after the personal foul. And now, what do we have here? Looks like just some confusion amongst the Medfield sideline. 3rd and 17 to go. 3rd and goal from the 17, I should say. Costly penalty there on Medfield. Murray out of the gun, back to his right, 4 receiver set, 3 to the left, takes the snap, throws to a left, has a target. And that was Nick Crofts coming up with the reception. And he gets some of the yardage back, but still well short. Looks like they marked them around the 8. Scoreboard says 5, so we'll go with that. 10-yard reception there by Crofts. 4th and goal from the 5. Obviously, in this situation, Warriors going to go for it here, deep in Hillers territory. You got the 7-point lead still. Have to take the risk here. And the clock continuing to run. And it looks like Medfield going to take a timeout, talk things over. 26 seconds left to go in the first half. A 21-14 Medfield lead. And they are facing a 4th and goal situation from the 5. And, of course, this is after the interception by T.J. Casey. And he returned it 60-plus yards all the way to the Hillers 2. But then you had a personal foul called against the Warriors that pushed them all the way back to the 17. But a 10-yard reception by Nick Crofts got him at least back into the red zone. Or within the 10. And likely in this 4th and goal from the 5 situation by Medfield, you'd expect them to likely try a pass here. Well, this game has had a little bit of everything. And we're only in the first half, folks, so strap in. It's going to be an exciting finish between these two teams. They've had some absolute classic battles throughout the years. And we're going to get a Hillers timeout now. They want to talk things over defensively. Now, a little surprising they used the timeout there. I guess Coach McLean must have saw something that he really didn't like on the defense, but you would figure that there'll still be time after this play. So the Hillers would want to save the timeouts with only 26 seconds left in the first half, but obviously you don't want to give up 6 here, so you're going to talk things over and try to tighten up defensively. Robert Lisher is over on the sideline throwing, so it'll be interesting if we see him come back in as the quarterback. I'm guessing that Coach McLean likes his arm maybe a little bit more than Salyard's, or perhaps something happened to Salyard's. But Cole Salyard's was playing a great game. Murray going to line it up out of the gun in the backfield. That is TJ Casey. 2 receivers spread out to either side. Takes the snap, looks to his left, throws to his left, and it's dropped by his intended target. Some great end zone defense there by the Hillers. And on the stop, that was Nick Lasessi. And that'll be a turnover on down, so the Hillers get the ball back with 21 seconds left in the first half. They'll start this drive all the way from their 5-yard line. But they'll likely try a couple plays here. See if they can get something brewing and maybe some quick points before the half's out. And we have a timeout called here. Or do we? Nope, they're just going to knee it out. They're going to run the clock out. And that's probably a smart move here because you are all the way at the 5-yard line. You don't want a turnover to happen here because that could certainly be costly. So a smart move there, kneeing out the clock. And that will wrap up the first half. After one half of play, it is Medfield 21, Hopkinton 14. It has been a very exciting game, and we still have a whole nother half to go. So stick around. You are tuned in to Hopkinton Hillers Varsity Football on HCAM.
Ball caps are wonderful on sunny days. Wow.
Good
So,
one.
The return,
What?
why was that called back? They did the kid got a return, and then all of a sudden they're back here. I don't know if it was a punt return or a kickoff return. But they called back a touchdown. Don't know.
Oh, on the after the interception?
Maybe it was an interception.
No, he didn't get into the end zone. He was stopped just short. He was stopped at the 2.
No, this one, Hopkinton was going this way. And the kid ran in, and all of a sudden they came back to like
It was a hole.
midfield.
Yeah.
Because
Nice.
I came back here, and the coach is up here going, it's fucking stupid. I'm like, what?
I had a feeling that one was coming back. There was a couple holes in it.
Oh, that's too bad. Good game. Good shootout.
Yeah.
You guys see 14 down here? 14 had like a breakdown down here.
No.
this weather any day, or at least for this time of year.
Why don't they just do football now?
Yeah, right?
Like our season, I can understand we're indoors.
Yeah, football's kind of meant to be a cold weather kind of sport.
But why? They're outside.
The games, for the most part, September and October are nice, but once you get into the November games, then it gets kind of cold.
Yeah, exactly.
So you need to move swimming outdoors.
No, absolutely not.
The town where I grew up had an Olympic-sized swimming pool and a 3-meter diving board.
Oh, it's rare that you
Diving
find 3
pool.
meters in certain places. I mean, Concord Carlisle High School has one, and that's where we do our. That's where they do our pre-state. The pre-country.
We also had pools in both our middle school and our high school. So that's because our middle school used to be the high school.
Oh, yeah.
So we had
Why don't
pools
they have a
like
pool
everywhere.
here? They don't have a pool here. I don't understand why.
And they talked about it when they were building the new high school.
Yeah,
There was
exactly.
talk about putting in a pool and they went with the athletic center instead.
Like, get the
Or both, I don't know.
They're building a pool now. And besides the
Oh, there goes the wind.
Oh, cool.
Is this thing blown around?
No, that's not cool.
Oh, come on, wind. You've been good all game. Don't start now.
So your knee is doing better? I saw you were diving the other day. Just
Oh,
a
yep.
wrap. So
Yeah, the school's letting me now, but I'm not sure if they're going to let me this
Oh, yeah, you're on the swim team, right?
Yeah, I do diving with my sister.
what did you do to it?
I dislocated it.
That, okay, that'll do it.
Well,
That had to hurt.
that's not the problem. Before we started our high school season, I dislocated it 5 times at our club practices. But, I just didn't pay any attention to it. And then, my very first meet, I dislocated it, and then the school saw it. And then, if I get hurt, it's the school's fault. So then
Right.
they had to do something about it then.
Ah,
But beforehand, I was just like, nah, it's fine, whatever.
playing through the pain.
Well, my coach doesn't care. Like, our club coach doesn't care. But, our coach for high school, she's like, oh, no, don't dive, don't do this. And I was like, I'm fine. But,
Yeah, they don't want to be held liable for anything.
yeah, exactly. I had to go to, like, a trainer, a physical therapist. Like, I had to get, like, a scan. Like, it was...
Oh, jeez.
And now I had to miss a knee, which was back sweep. There's, like, category sweep. I had to miss that week, but I came back for inward sweep.
That's good. At least you're back now.
Yeah, but they're like watching me now.
Ah.
Like I come back and there's like 3 people just like they look at me. They're like,
You gotta try to avoid any slight limps.
I know. I walk past them and I'm like,
I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah, just run.
I can skip for you if you want. Like I don't care.
Alright, should we turn the mics on for you?
Yep.
Sure.
Actually,
It's here. So when you put it on the 48 volt, they're on input 2.
And we are ready for the second half As we enter the second half, it's Medfield 21, Hopkinton 14. It's been a good back and forth battle. We had a very offensive first quarter. Both teams scored 2 touchdowns apiece. It was 14-14 heading into the second. Then at the very beginning of the second quarter, Medfield capped off a drive that started in the first quarter to make it 21-14. Then after that, it was all defense. We've had a fumble recovery by the Hillers, and that was followed up by a Medfield interception. Ran all the way to the 2-yard line, but they didn't get a score out of it, as there was a personal penalty, a personal foul called, and with some extracurricular activity after a play that backed them up to the 17. And the Hillers defense came through to get the stop and keep this a 21-14 game. Medfield will kick off to start this second half, left to right across your screen. Tom Nappy, happy to be with you on the call on this Saturday afternoon for this TVL Large matchup between the Medfield Warriors and the Hopkinton Hillers. Our crew today, Eve Weatherhead and John Ritz. And John Ritz doing some great photography work today. We'll have some very nice pictures of this game posted on the HCAM website that you can check out. Kicking it away for Medfield is Nicholas Crofts, and he'll send it sailing end over end to about the 8-yard line. Mulvaney picks it up along the near side. Here he goes on the return, trying to break a tackle, and he will fight his way to the 20. It looked like Mulvaney was going to get practically nothing on that return, but he is just so hard to bring down, and he's able to stay on his feet, fight his way forward, and give the Hillers some pretty decent field position to start this drive. So the Hillers offense, they've been shut down on their last couple of drives. We'll see if they can pick up the momentum here. Wind starting to blow a little bit here on this sun-drenched field. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney, the back to his left. 2 receivers either side. Takes the snap. He's going to hand it off. Run up the middle. Mulvaney breaking free. Here he goes to the 35. Fighting his way to the 40. Big gain there. Cam Mulvaney all the way to the 42-yard line. A 22-yard pickup. First and 10 from the 42. And the Hillers in business. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney in the backfield. A 4-receiver set. 3 lined up to the right. Mulvaney now moves to the right of Salyard's. And here goes Salyard's. He'll take it himself up the middle. Fights his way to the 45, and he's brought down by a pair of Warriors after about a 3-yard pickup. In on the takedown was Philip Parker and the captain for Medfield, Jackson Foscaldo. Back to the line they go. Salyards lines it up out of the gun. Mulvaney, the back to his right. 2 receivers in tight to either side. Takes the snap. Looks to his right. Throws to his right. Was that caught? Yes. It looks like Keefe may have reeled it in. That was nearly an interception by TJ Casey, but it went just through Casey's dive into the arms of Keefe for a 4-yard pickup. Brent Keefe, he has a great pair of hands. He can make some tremendous catches from pretty much anywhere on the field. And he's had a few big catches here today. His biggest reception of the day was a 21-yarder. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney in the backfield. He is going to hand it off. Here goes Mulvaney up the middle, fights his way across midfield to the 45, works up the far side, 40, 35 to the 30, and he is going to be taken down after a huge gain all the way to about the 10-yard line. Another big run by Cam Mulvaney, breaking tackle after tackle. What a 39-yard pickup there by Mulvaney. Hillers in the red zone. Salyard's going to line it up with a back to his left. And now some motion from left to right and a design keeper here. Salyard's trying to break free, doesn't have much room to work with. He's going to be brought down for, it looks like, a small loss. Yeah, it looks like he lost about 3 or 4 yards there. Out of the gun is Salyards. Mulvaney, the back to his right. Salyards calls it out, takes the snap, throws to his left, and it's incomplete. It looks like his intended target, who was Elias Pereira, got tripped up a little bit. And that looked like it was just supposed to be a quick out by Pereira. And as he was turning to try to haul it in, he lost his footing. So that brings up 3rd and 13 from the 18-yard line. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney, the back to his right. 2 receivers either side. Takes the snap, rolls to his right, throws to his right, nearly intercepted. Diving in there to knock it down was Ben Leonard. Intended target was Brian Keefe. And that'll bring up 4th down for the Hillers. 4th and 13 to go from the 18. It looks like they're going to keep the offense out there. But don't forget, Salyards can handle the punting duties as well. So let's see what they do here. Salyards going to take the snap, hands it off, and it's Mulvaney up the far side, somehow broke free, and he has a big run. Question is, did he get enough? It looks like he may have got it, and he does indeed. Cam Mulvaney comes through big once again. So now that'll bring up 1st and goal from, looks like about the 4-yard line. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney, the back to his right. He'll hand it off to Mulvaney, bursting up the middle, breaking a tackle into the end zone. A 4-yard touchdown run, Cam Mulvaney. And he makes it a 21-20 game. Mulvaney just unstoppable today. That is his 3rd touchdown run. He has an 8-yarder, an 11-yarder, and now a 4-yarder. And now for the extra point to tie it up. Ravitch sends it end over end. Through the uprights it goes. And at 7:37 left to go in the 3rd quarter, we are knotted up at 21 apiece. That drive lasted a little under 4.5 minutes. 7:37 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Now the Hillers will kick off after a 80-yard touchdown drive capped off by a 4-yard touchdown run by Cam Mulvaney. Ravitch will send it away. he'll send it sailing. End over end it goes all the way back to about the 5, and he lost it. It went off his hands. He dropped it. It is picked up. And now we're going to have what looks like a very good return up the near side. James Wilder breaking free across midfield. 40, 30, 20, the 10, and into the end zone. Wow. Unbelievable. On the kickoff, the initial returner bobbled it and then lost the football. And then James Wilder picks it up and takes it about 95 yards to the house. And just like that, Medfield back on top, 27-21. Unbelievable. You want to talk about momentum shifts. That took 17 seconds off the clock. Now for the extra point, Nick Crofts. Snap, the kick, nearly blocked, but it sails right through. And Medfield now leads it 28-21. Well, that could certainly take the wind out of your sails a bit. You string together an 80-yard touchdown drive and eat up a nice 4.5 minutes or so, tie the game up, and then Medfield strikes right back with a kickoff return for a touchdown. This game has had a little bit of everything. So we'll see what the Hillers do on this kickoff return. So we are less than 5 minutes into the half. This is going to be the third kickoff already of the second half. If you were looking for excitement, an exciting game to watch, you have certainly found the right one. Nicholas Cross will send it away. Back to return for the Hillers. You got Cam Mulvaney to the right, Elias Pereira to the left. End over end it goes towards Pereira, and he'll return it from the 10. Takes it to the 20, to the 25, cutting across to the far side at 30, 35, the 40, the 45, across midfield, and a big return by Pereira all the way to the Medfield 43. We have seen some unbelievable kickoff returns in this game from both sides. So the Hillers will start with very good field position. They're officially marked at the Medfield 45. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney, the back to his left. Two receivers in tight to either side. Takes the snap. Rolls to his left. Looking to throw. Has Pereira hauled in. And he is brought down at around the 40, about a 5-yard gain. They'll bring up second and they're going to mark him for a 4-yard gain. Second reception by Pereira today. I think he's going to become a whole lot more involved in this second half. And we do appear to have an injury on the field. Looks like we have an injured Medfield player. So we have a stoppage here at 6:29 left to go in the third quarter. Not quite sure who it is. It's right along the Medfield sideline. And he is up and walking around, so that is certainly a good sign. It looked like it was Cole Cloney who was a little shooken up. 2nd and 6 from the 41-yard line. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney, the back to his left. Two receivers either side. Takes the snap. hands it off to Mulvaney, and he is able to escape one tackle, but not the other. Does pick up a couple. On the stop, Jared Hirschfield with TJ Casey. You have to expect Medfield really going to try to key in on Cam Mulvaney, who has broken free for a number of double-digit yardage drives, or double-digit runs in this game. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney, the back to his right. Two receivers to either side. Takes the snap, rolls to his right, throws to his right, hauled in by Keefe. And it looks like he will have enough for the first down. It's about a 5-yard reception there by Keefe. So the Hillers are now at the 33-yard line, so they mark them for 7 officially. And they move the chains. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney, the back to his left. Two receivers lined up to his left as well. Takes the snap, rolls to his left, and is looking to pass. It looks like he's going to keep it instead, and he will get about a yard out of that. Well, he didn't see a target he liked, so he keeps it there and does it the safe way. Looks like they marked him a yard back. That'll make it 2nd and 11 from the 34. And listening to the Medfield sideline, all their play calls are team names, either college teams or pro teams. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney, the back to his right. Here goes Mulvaney, working up the near side, breaking free, and he's pushed out of bounds after a big gain. And it looks like around the 12-yard line. So that is a 22-yard run there by Cam Mulvaney. And Mulvaney already has 3 touchdown runs today, and certainly well over 100 yards rushing, and he is doing big things for this Hillers offense. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney, the back to his right. 3 receivers lined up to the left now. Motion from left to right. Keefe in motion. Takes the snap. Hands it off. Mulvaney is going to go off tackle, up the middle, and he's brought down after a small gain. On the stop for Medfield, that was the captain, Ricky Matthews. It looks like he got a yard out of that. So that brings up 2nd and 9 from the 11. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney, the back to his right, takes the snap, rolls to his right, under pressure, throws to his right. Was that intercepted? No, it was dropped. Nearly picked off by Ben Leonard. He had it right in his grasp, but just could not hold on. That is a big break there for the Hillers. So that'll bring up 3rd down. From the 11, they got 4 to go. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney, the back to his left. A 3 receivers set, and Salyard's going to keep this. Trying to work his way up the middle. Not a lot of room there. And he's going to be stopped short of the first down. And on the stop, Jackson Fuscaldo. It looks like they gave him maybe a yard there. That brings up 4th and 4 from about the 10. Back to the line they go. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney lined up to his right. Motion from left to right. And it's dropped. Salyards drops it. And it's picked up by Mulvaney, and he's stopped. We'll have a turnover on downs. He stopped right around the initial line of scrimmage. In fact, maybe a couple yards back. I think they were trying to do a little trickery there. I think it was going to go to Karatza, who was then going to hand it off to Mulvaney on a reverse. And it was dropped during the exchange. So the Medfield defense gets the job done. And they get the ball back with 2:47 left to go in this third quarter. They will start this drive from the Hopkinton 10-yard line. First and 10 from the 10. Medfield working left to right across your screen. Murray going to line it up out of the gun. He'll hand it off. Run up the middle. Not much there. Good stop there by the Hillers. It was TJ Casey on the carry. I believe that was Aiden Morin in on the stop. So that brings up second and 10 for the Warriors. Murray going to line it up out of the gun. The back to his right is TJ Casey. Three receivers spread out to his left. Takes the snap, looks to his left, throws to his left. It's batted down. Good pass break up there by Nicholas Sessi. Third and 10 from the 10 for the Warriors. Hillers defense hoping for a quick stop here. Murray going to line it up out of the gun once again. Casey to his right. Two receivers spread out to either side. Takes the snap, looks to his left, throws to his left, and it's incomplete. A little too much in front of his intended target, Nicholas Crofts. And some good coverage along the far sideline there by Nicholas Sessi. So that'll bring up fourth and 10 from the 10. The Warriors will punt it away here. TJ Casey is back to punt. Well, the Warriors defense got the job done on the last Hillers possession. Now the Hillers defense returns the favor. The snap, the punt, and it is going to be a pretty good punt back to the 45. And the Hillers offense will head back out to the field and start off with some nice field position. 1:52 left to go in the third quarter. To the line they go. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney, the back to his right. Two receivers either side, and he's going to hand it off to the man in motion, and that is going to be Karatza. Up the far side he goes, and a big gain there. And we'll see where they mark him. It looks like it's going to be around the 25. We'll put him right in the middle, so 27-yard line. That was an 18-yard gain there by Karatza. Sweep play pays off for the Hillers. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney, the back to his left, takes the snap. He's going to roll to his left, has time, throws upfield, incomplete. Little too high for his intended target, Garrett Morrissey, to reach. That'll bring up second and 10. Clock is stopped at 1:03 left to go in the third quarter. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney the back to his right. A 4-receiver set with 3 to his right. Salyards calls it out, takes the snap, throws to his right, and it's incomplete on the screen pass. He was looking for Elias Pereira. I think he just rushed that throw a little too much and didn't get the angle he wanted. 3rd and 10 from the 27. To the line they go. Salyard's out of the gun. Mulvaney the back to his right. 2 receivers spread out to either side. Takes the snap. Here goes Mulvaney working up the middle. Breaks a tackle. And he's going to have a very nice run here as he breaks another tackle. And he gets close to the 10. What a run there by Mulvaney. He just ran over a couple people and was able to break free and move the chains and get the big gain. All right, they put him right around the 10. But a 17-yard gain there by Mulvaney. Okay, 15, I stand corrected. A 12-yard gain. It's certainly a little difficult for us to see the yard lines at that end of the field. Salyard's going to roll to his left, throws to the end zone, has a target, it's hauled in for a touchdown! A 15-yard touchdown reception by Nicholas Sessi. And it's a 28-27 game. Well, the Hillers opening up the offense as Medfield started keying in a little bit on their run game, but certainly they haven't stopped it. Mulvaney and Karatza still going off for some big runs. But the Hillers starting to open up the passing game a little bit, and it pays off on this drive, and the extra point is good, and we are knotted at 28 apiece with 11 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Boy, oh boy, what a game we have here at Hopkinton High School today. Back and forth we go. It has been a seesaw battle all game long. Momentum shift after momentum shift. That was the first reception of the game by Nicholas Sessi. He's contributed on both sides of the ball today. He has made some big defensive stops, and now the 15-yard touchdown reception. Hillers set to kick it away. Avery Ravitch is out there. He'll send it sailing end over end. Another good kickoff by Ravitch, and it was bobbled, but then it gathered up by Destin, and he will return it to about the 20. So the Medfield offense will come back out, hoping for a response to a Hillers touchdown drive. It was a 45-yard touchdown drive, capped off by a 15-yard touchdown reception by Nicholas Sessi. So they start this drive at their own 20. And Coach Ornberg from Medfield does not sound too happy on the sidelines right now. Back to the line they go. Murray going to line it up out of the gun. Back to his right. This is going to be the last play of the third quarter. 2 seconds left to go. Takes the snap, looks to his left, throws to his left, and it is hauled in for a reception. Or was it? I believe it was hauled in. Nick Crofts on the reception. That'll do it for the third quarter. It actually looks like they marked it incomplete. So 2nd and 10 when we start the fourth quarter. You are tuned in to Hopkinton Hillers Varsity Football on HCAT. And we are ready to start the fourth quarter. Medfield facing a 2nd and 7 from the 24-yard line. We have switched ends. Medfield now working right to left across your screen. Murray going to line it up out of the gun in the backfield. That is TJ Casey. 2 receivers spread out to the left. Lone flanker to the right. Murray calls it out, takes the snap. Looks upfield under pressure, gets rid of it to the left, and it's incomplete. Intended target Ben Leonard, and a great knockdown by Cole Salyards. And Salyards, another contributor on both sides of the ball, making a beauty of a knockdown there. You certainly don't want to let Ben Leonard reel in too many passes. He is a big target for the Warriors and has a good amount of speed as well. With a 79-yard touchdown earlier in the game to make it 14-13 at that point. Extra point tied it up at 14 apiece. Murray going to line it up out of the gun, back to his left. Takes the snap, throws to his left, has a target, and it is hauled in for a first down. Nicholas Crofts on the reception. And that'll move the Medfield Warriors up to the 33-yard line. 1st and 10 from the 33. Murray going to line it up out of the gun. Back to his right is Casey. 2 receivers spread out to his left. Takes the snap. Hands it off to Casey. Casey trying to take it to the near side, and he won't get very far. Cole Salyards in on the stop. And it looked like no gain there, and unfortunately it looks like Casey got a little shooken up on that play. He's getting checked out, but he's back to his feet. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Warriors. $11 minutes and counting left to go in this game, or at least in regulation. Murray going to line it up out of the gun. And in the backfield, 2 receivers spread out to either side. Takes the snap, looks upfield, incomplete. Intended target, James Wilder. So that'll bring up 3rd and 10 for the Warriors. Can the Hillers make a big stop here and get the ball back? to the line they go. Murray out of the gun. It's Wilston Destin in the backfield. Two receivers spread out to either side. Murray takes the snap. Looks upfield. He'll air it out up the right side, and it's incomplete. Intended target was James Wilder. Good coverage by the captain, Brian Keefe. And that'll bring up 4th and 10. The Warriors will punt it away most likely. Or will they? It looks like they're going to line up to perhaps go for it here. And I think the main goal of that was to draw a Hillers timeout call. So they're going to talk things over. 10:22 left to go in regulation. This game has been the ultimate seesaw game. Just constant momentum shifts. Hopkinton 28, Medfield 28. And we should have quite an exciting finish here in this TVL Large matchup. A good amount of people in attendance at this game, taking in the action. You can't ask for any better weather for football than this. Sun-drenched field, temperatures in the mid-40s. But not too cold, not too warm, just perfect. So here we go. They're going to line up to perhaps go for it on 4th and 10 from the 33. The snap and the quarterback, Ryan Murray, will punt it away. No one was back to return for the Hillers. So it turns into a nice decision there by Medfield, because they're going to pin the Hillers pretty far deep into their territory. Looks like Hopkinton's going to start this drive all the way from their 12. But the Hillers, they didn't want to risk it in case Medfield was going to go for it there. They wanted to have all the defenders available, and you could certainly understand why. So 10 minutes, 10 seconds left in the game. The Hillers get the ball back. Let's see what they could do. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney, the back to his right. Two receivers spread out to either side. Takes the snap, and he is going to hand it off. It's a run up the near side. Good for a couple. They mark him for 3 yards on the run. It brings up 2nd and 7 from about the 14. Back to the line they go. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney, the back to his left. Two receivers to either side. Takes the snap, and it's Mulvaney up the middle, charging forward. And he broke one tackle, not able to break the other, but pretty good pickup there. Looks like they put him right near the 20. So it was about a 6-yard pickup by Mulvaney. 3rd and 2. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney, the back to his right. Two receivers either side. Takes the snap, rolls to his right, looks upfield, throws upfield, has a target, and it's hauled in by Keefe. And he gets the first down plus a couple. On the stop for Medfield, that was Jack Sullivan. Brian Keefe making some noise offensively today. That was his 6th reception. Hillers move the chains. 1st and 10 from the 25. And it's going to be a run. Here goes Carazza up the far side, and he'll break free, find some open space, and work his way close to the 40. That is going to move the chains once again for the Hillers. The Hopkinton offense is clicking right now. Marked them at the 37, 12-yard pickup on the run. And Salyard's going to pull down the high snap. He'll hand it off to Mulvaney. Up the middle he goes, and he eludes a couple defenders and works his way towards midfield. About an 8-yard pickup there. Or excuse me, that was about a 11-yard pickup, and that'll move the chains. The Hillers getting up to the line quick. You got the momentum going. Keep it going. Keep the pressure on. And that's what they're going to do probably throughout the rest of this drive. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Motion left to right. Fakes the handoff to Carazza. Play action. Throws to his left. Has a target. And it is caught by Champlin. And Champlin is going to have a big gain here as he works up the far side for a 1st down and more. And he goes all the way to the 32, a 17-yard pickup on the reception. Everything clicking right now for Hopkinton. 6:10 and counting left to go in the 4th quarter. It looks like we may get a timeout here. I believe it was a Medfield timeout. 6:03 left to go. We're now at 28 apiece. But the Hillers working in to Medfield territory. Hillers on this drive, they picked up about, I think it was 4 consecutive 1st downs. It has been a good drive for the Hillers. It started all the way back at their own 12-yard line. But still, certainly plenty of time left in this game, especially with the way these two offenses have clicked at times. But another great thing for the Hillers, if they're able to cap this drive off with points, they would not only go ahead in the game, but they would have burned a good amount of time off the clock. Tom Nappy, happy to be with you for some Saturday afternoon Hopkinton Hillers April football. Doesn't get any better than this. Salyards takes the snap, rolls to his right, under pressure, is going to get away. There he goes. And he's going to fight his way for a big gain there. All the way to about the 10-yard line. That was about a 22-yard pickup on the keeper by Salyards. And right back to the line they go. Salyards takes the snap, hands it off to Mulvaney. Mulvaney up the middle, and he is going to stay on his feet until he's surrounded by a herd of defenders. And not much there, but certainly a whole lot of fight left in Mulvaney. He is just tremendously tough to take down. He had Philip Parker and Ricky Matthews pretty much all over him. They had him wrapped, and he still wouldn't go down. 2nd and 8 for the Hillers. Or excuse me, 2nd and goal from the 8. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney, the back to his left. 2 receivers spread out to either side. Takes the snap, hands it off to Mulvaney. Mulvaney trying to work his way to the near side. He's brought down for a loss. Good takedown there by Crofts. And that was about a 6-yard loss. has stopped at 4 minutes. And now it's rolling. 4:17 and counting left to go. Medfield defense putting up a fight here. A big play. 3rd and goal from the 13. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney, the back to his right, takes the snap, looks to his right, has time, and now he is going to be in some trouble, runs to his left, finds some space, into the end zone he goes! Cole Salyards! He stood in the pocket looking to pass, and then he said, you know what, the whole left side of the field's open, I'm just going to take this myself. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Hillers back on top, 34-28. And now for the extra point attempt. The snap, the kick. And we had a false start, it looks like, by the Hillers. They're going to have to re-kick it. This is big here. You certainly want to get this extra point. Obviously, if you don't, you're up by 6. But the Warriors have been, well, both teams so far have been very consistent with extra points. So you can't really bank on Medfield missing an extra point if they're able to get in the end zone in the next 3 minutes, 48 seconds. So big kick here for Avery Ravitch, the sophomore. The snap, the hold, the kick, end over end, and through the uprights it goes. And the Hillers lead it 35-28 with 3 minutes, 48 seconds left to go in this game. And that was an 88-yard touchdown drive, capped off by a 13-yard keeper by Cole Salyards. And that drive burned about 6.5 minutes off the clock. But the Warriors' offense, they could certainly work quickly. We'll see if they can respond here. Hopkinton will kick off left to right across your screen. Ravitch set to send it away. And it's a low kickoff. It will take a nice Hillers bounce all the way back to about the 10. The return's going to be up the middle. And a pretty good return there by Sam Patry. The Warriors will have some decent field position to start this drive. Looks like they're going to be at about the 38-yard line. Three minutes, 42 seconds left to go in this fourth quarter. And the Warriors are going to have to respond if they want any chance at coming away with a win in this one. Warriors offense lines it up with Murray out of the gun, back to his right. 2 receivers either side. Motion left to right. Murray takes the snap, looking to pass, throws to his left, and it's incomplete. Intended target was Nicholas Crofts. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the 38, and the wind's starting to pick up a little bit here. It could certainly be a factor with the passing game. To the line they go. Murray out of the gun. I believe that is Casey in the backfield. Good to see him back into the game. Two receivers either side. Takes the snap, and he's in trouble and brought down in the backfield. Ethan Champlin with the sack. All the way back to about the 24-yard line. That is a 14-yard loss. A huge defensive play by Ethan Champlin. 3rd and 23 from the 25 for the Warriors. Murray out of the gun. Two receivers either side. Casey in the backfield. Takes the snap, in trouble, eludes the pressure, gets rid of it, throws to his left, and it is caught. They pick up some of the yardage back. Nicholas Crofts on the reception. So that brings the Warriors up to the 34, about a 9-yard pickup. And that was a nice job by Murray. He was nearly brought down for another loss, but was able to break a couple tackles and at least get rid of it and give Casey a little bit of an opportunity to pick up some yards. 4th and 14 from the 34. Takes the snap. Looks to his right, rolls to his right, under pressure, throws up the sideline, and does he hit his target? Yes, he does. What a catch by Cole Cloney, and is that a flag on the field? This one could be coming back. Let's see. Maybe not. Looks like we may have offsetting penalties here. And it is coming back, or at least somewhat. Let's see where they mark them. All right, so the Warriors do get the first down. And they will have the ball at the 49. So Cole Cloney coming up with a tremendous catch for Medfield. Murray with an empty back set. 3 receivers lined up to his left. Takes the snap, looks to his left, throws up the middle, and it's knocked down. A great defensive play there. Intended target Ben Leonard. Cole Salyards with the breakup. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the 49 for the Warriors. 1 minute, 50 seconds left to go in this 4th quarter. Murray going to line it up out of the gun. In the backfield, that's TJ Casey. 2 receivers spread out to either side. Takes the snap, looks up the middle, in trouble, gets rid of it, throws up the middle, has a wide open target, and it's hauled in by Wilder, who will take it to the house. Oh boy, a 51-yard connection between Ryan Murray and James Wilder. Unbelievable. Well, the back and forth battle continues. And this extra point is a big one. And Warriors huddling up. Looks like we're going to get a timeout called by Medfield. I don't know. Might they think of going for 2? I believe there would be an overtime if the 4th quarter concludes with a tie score. Not exactly 100% sure if they adjusted the overtime rules due to pandemic reasons, but I believe there will indeed be an overtime. And, of course, it would be a sudden death overtime. But we'll see what Medfield does here. They could go for the extra point to tie it, or they could go for two and try to take the win in regulation. There's still 1 minute 39 seconds left, so no matter what the case, we're going to have time left in this game. You would imagine they will take the conservative route and just try to tie it up, but let's see. You never know. Could we see some attempted trickery here? No, they're going to line up for two, it looks like. They're going to go for it. They have a three-back set. Murray is going to pitch it back. And now here goes Wilder, and Wilder is in. What a play call that was by Coach Ornberg. And the Warriors go up 36-35. But still time left for the Hillers. 1 minute 39 left to go in this game. But I'd say the chances of an overtime have significantly decreased. Well, they had the three-back set. You didn't know which one they were going to go to, and James Wilder takes it in. And he was able to break a couple tackles as well. So the risk pays off for Medfield. And now, let's see if the Hillers can respond. 1 minute 39 left is certainly plenty of time for this Hillers offense, especially with how effective they've been today. What an unbelievable game here in the home opener of the season for the Hopkinton Hillers. I believe they're celebrating their seniors on the roster tonight as well. They got the seniors' pictures up along the fence. Medfield will kick it away right to left across your screen. So the Warriors have a 1-point lead with 1 minute 39 seconds left. Set to send it away is Nicholas Crofts. And he'll send it sailing end over end all the way back to about the 10. And here's the return. And it's a pretty good return up the middle by Pereira. And he gets it up to around the 30-yard line. So the Hillers offense will come out to the field. 1 minute, 32 seconds left. They need to go, or at least get in the field goal range. Obviously, the three-point field goal would put them on top. Medfield 36, Hopkinton 35. As the Warriors went for the two-point conversion, and the risk paid off. Salyard's out of the gun. He is going to fake the handoff, play action. He'll air it out up the left side, incomplete. Well, the Warriors took a big risk going for the two-point conversion. The Hillers take a risk there, trying to air it out to Pereira. It was a nicely thrown ball by Salyards. Just a little too much in front of him. Second and 10 from the 29. Salyards out of the gun. Motion left to right. And it's Karatza getting the call here on the sweep. Along the near side, finds some room. And he gets very close to the first down. Looks like maybe a yard shy. And the Hillers in hurry-up mode here. Obviously, time is not on their side. It looks like the Warriors might take a timeout. Clock is stopped right now at 1 minute 2 seconds left to go. And I think the officials are trying to decide how much time is left back on the clock. And he's signaling up to the scoreboard operator. A minute, 7 seconds left, so some time put back on the clock for the Hillers. Salyard's out of the gun, takes the snap, rolls to his left, throws to his left, has a target. It's hauled in by Pereira, and Pereira is taken out of bounds at around the 45. Let's see, they might give him the 46-47 here. So he gets a couple yards there. It's now a third and about 2 to go for the Hillers. Out of the gun, Salyards rolls to his right, and it is off of the hands of one receiver and into the hands of Champlin. So the Hillers will move the chains. I believe it went off the hand of Keefe, and then Champlin reeled it in and was able to get out of bounds to stop the clock as well. So now the Hillers are moved up to the 42-yard line. And it's going to be a run. Here goes Mulvaney trying to find some room, and he's brought down. He does move the chains, but he's brought down at around the 24. There's 37 seconds left on the clock. The Hillers take a timeout to stop the clock, and Mulvaney sets him up nicely. Well, we are going to have quite the finish here, that's for sure. And we do have an update. Blackstone Valley Tech defeated Nipmuc 42-0. That game was over at Milford High School. First and 10 from the 24, 37 seconds left. So time right now, not the best of right to the Hillers, but they certainly have plenty of time to try to go ahead in this game. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. The back to his right is Mulvaney. Motion from right to left. Takes the snap, hands it off. Mulvaney up the middle, trying to find some room, and he's going to be brought down just short of the 15. And the Hillers are going to take another timeout. And Coach McLean wanted to desperately make sure that the officials saw the timeout call. Back to the line they go. Or it wasn't a timeout call. They wanted to make sure they stopped the clock, actually, between the play while they were getting the ball set. Because there was a couple plays, they didn't stop the clock. Should probably be a couple extra seconds back up there. And another run by Mulvaney. And he picks up some good yardage here. It looks like he's going to move the chains once again. This is going to be at about the 12-yard line. That was a 12-yard run by Mulvaney. And now the Hillers take a timeout, and they'll talk things over. 17 seconds left to go. First and goal from about the... It's kind of tough to see. It's going to be the 7-yard line. So Cam Mulvaney with a pair of big runs on this drive. And the Hillers are deep in Medfield territory with 17 seconds left to go. So you figure they'll have time for 2 or 3 plays here for the go-ahead score. And, of course, they could kick the field goal, which would put them ahead as well. Salyard's going to line it up out of the gun. Mulvaney, the back to his left, 2 receivers either side. Takes the snap, rolls to his left, looking upfield, looking to pass, going to take it himself, and he takes it to the house! Touchdown, Hillers! A 7-yard touchdown run for Cole Salyards, and Hopkinton's back on top. 41-36, and maybe the Hillers will go for two to try to make it a 7-point game. But there'll be 11 seconds left on the clock for Medfield, and with all the craziness in this game, who knows? And it looks like they're going to kick the extra point. Snap and the kick, end over end, and it's through. So the Hillers are up by 6, 42-36. Medfield will get the ball back, but they'll only have 11 seconds. But how about Cole Salyards? He was in trouble, was able to elude the pressure and escape for a 7-yard touchdown run to put Hopkinton back on top. And the Hillers just had a 70-yard touchdown drive that lasted 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Certainly time efficient. I think they would have preferred if it lasted 2 minutes, 21 seconds, but they'll take it. The Hillers set to send it away, hoping to collect their first victory of the season. They started off with a tough loss to Holliston and a loss after a good battle with Norwood on the road. They are hoping for a win here. End over end, it's going to be a short kickoff. And that was certainly the smart call there with how many big returns Medfield has had. And in the return will go up to about the 37. So Medfield's going to have time for 1 or 2 plays here. Seven seconds left on the clock. I'd expect some deep pass attempts here by Medfield. Warriors offense marching out to the field. Let's see what they're going to do here. Murray going to line it up out of the gun. Casey in the backfield. 2 receivers either side. Murray takes the snap. Looks to his left, and now he's going to roll to his left. Airs it out, up the field, incomplete. Good defensive coverage by Cole Salyards, and time has expired, and the Hopkinton Hillers take the win, 42-36. What a tremendous victory by the Hillers. Both these teams went back and forth all game long. An absolutely tremendous battle out there. And in the end, the Hillers come away with the victory, 42-36. This game had a little bit of everything here today. And we're going to keep rolling because there might be some kind of ceremony after the game. So we're going to keep rolling for now. And let you enjoy some of the post-game festivities. But a 42-36 win for the Hillers. They improved to 1-2 on this season. Medfield falls to 1-2. But this was just a tremendously well-played game by both teams. A whole lot of fun to watch. And that is, I guess, the great thing about these TVL large matchups. I mean, or these divisional matchups, I should say. You're going to see a lot of great games. And it does look like there will not be a post-game ceremony. But in any case, the Hillers are going to have some post-game celebrations as they take the victory here today, 42-36. And let's start off with a quick recap of this game. To open the game, it was a Medfield 65-yard touchdown reception, about a minute 27 drive to make it a 7-0 game. The Hillers responded a few minutes later with a 55-yard touchdown drive, capped off by a Cam Mulvaney 8-yard touchdown run. And then after that, the Hillers would go up 14-7 with another Cam Mulvaney touchdown run to cap off a 69-yard touchdown drive. And then Medfield would tie it up at 14, a 79-yard connection with Ben Leonard from Murray. And that's how the first quarter would end. And then right into the second quarter, Medfield made it a 21-14 game as TJ Casey had the 8-yard touchdown run. We went into the halftime break, score 21-14 Medfield. And then defense took over for quite a while, but then later on in the second half, the offense started back up again. Cam Mulvaney would have another touchdown run at 7:37 left to go in the third quarter to make it a 21-21 game. Medfield then responded with a 95-yard kickoff return from James Wilder to make it a 28-21 game. And then later on, towards the end of the third quarter, a 15-yard touchdown reception to Nicholas Sessi to make it a 28-28 game. And then the Hillers went up in the fourth quarter with 10 minutes left, or 10 left to go, a 13-yard touchdown run by Cole Salyards. And then Medfield would tie, well, they actually wouldn't tie it up. They would score a touchdown of their own, then go for two to go up 36-35 with 3:42 left to go. And then the Hillers, with a minute 32 left, strung together a 70-yard touchdown drive, capped off by a Cole Salyards 7-yard touchdown run to take the victory 42-36. A tremendous game here, a great back-and-forth battle. Be sure to look for the highlights on hcam.tv. And don't forget, of course, you can rewatch the broadcast, any of our games right on the HCAM YouTube page. But that is going to wrap it up for Hopkinton Hillers football coverage here today. For Eve Weatherhead and John Ritz, I'm Tom Nappy, and we thank you for watching Hopkinton Hillers varsity football on HCAM. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you again soon. Have a good weekend, everybody, and happy Easter.